Hello everyone and welcome back for some more Drag Race gossip, secrets and drama. Sorry that this video has taken a while, but I wanted to take a little break after All Stars 10. But I'm back with a video where I'll be covering all of the recent Drag Race drama involving several different queens, which some people have jokingly called the quote, Drag Race Civil War, because of the various feuds. So today I'll be going through the ongoing drama with Mistress Isabelle Brooks and Eureka, who recently joined in the drama and called Mistress out. Acid Betty continued to call out Willam and Alaska for an apology, and they have now responded. And Shea Couleé has seemingly retracted some previous allegations that she made against an events company. All that and more coming up in today's video, so let's get started. Also, if you like these videos, please make sure you hit the subscribe button because it really does make a big difference to my channel and helps me to keep making more videos. Thank you! Eureka versus Mistress Isabelle Brooks. As many of you will know, after Mistress Isabelle Brooks appeared on All Stars 10, she has been involved in various dramas with different queens. One of the most prominent feuds that Mistress had was with Willam. I did do a full video about this previously, which I'll link to in the description. However, just to quickly summarise, Mistress did a video where she called out Willam and called her a quote sociopath and a quote has-been, and that Willam had spread a lot of lies about Mistress, so Mistress clapped back at her. Willam in response posted her own video where she responded to Mistress and denied a lot of the things Mistress had said. This feud got a lot of traction on social media, and both Mistress and Willam posted on Instagram about it as well. However, there was some subsequent drama that happened on the back of this involving Eureka. Quite a few queens had seemingly taken a side in the Willam versus Mistress feud, or they had at least commented on the situation. For example, as I covered in a previous video, UK Season 3 winner Crystal Versace had commented on Mistress's post about Willam and said, "Get her, Jade." Willam then clapped back at Crystal and said that Crystal's solo tour had sold so badly that they had to film her at a group event to make it look like her event was sold out. Well, since then, Crystal has seemingly clapped back at Willam, and Crystal posted an Instagram story a few days later saying, "Fortunately for me, I have no need nor desire to try and tear others down in order to create success. Success doesn't come naturally, but only after experiencing failures. Enabling young audiences to view failing as something to be scared of isn't anything I'd ever do. I actually encourage it so that you can succeed even more. Better luck next time." One of the other queens who then got involved in the Mistress vs Willam drama was Eureka. Eureka posted a comment on Willam's Instagram post where Willam was calling out Mistress. Eureka commented saying, "Working with Mistress was one of the worst experiences and shadiest experiences. She's a big fat rat. Pretended to be my sister to cover her ass until the fans were on her side, and she stopped picking up the phone as soon as she accomplished her evil intent. She's a true villain that must secretly be in a lot of pain. So, at Willam, you win. Period. I'll never forget when I was struggling to get ready for Canada versus the world, you opened your wardrobe to me and kindness." At Mistress Isabelle Brooks, however, promised me she was sending hair and a costume continuously, to a point I counted on things from her. Then she went MIA when I confronted her on her show. She said she'd send me the wig, she never did, and then wore the costume she was sending me on Drag Race. It's a twisted kind of weird. The worst part is, when I did her Mistress Monday and she booked me for the gig, I was communicating with her about what I was personally going through at the time, and she exploited that week in my life for her own gain. The sad part is, I gave her advice on how to get on Drag Race and fully have supported her, and she's been nothing but a manipulative, needing the spotlight big girl, but not so big girl now. I've experienced girls like her before this franchise, so at times I think I deserved it, but no longer when I see things like this. It just reminds me you have to voice the truth so that other people realise that just because they have popularity does not make them good people or right." This comment got a lot of traction and a lot of chatter about it online. Mistress must have then seen Eureka's comment, because shortly after, Mistress responded to it in a Twitter post. In the post, Mistress said, "Once again, a public statement deserves a public response. You B words are so weird. Let's tell the people why I really ghosted you. All you do is beg me for money and drain my energy like I'm supposed to be your crutch. You created your bed, now lie in it. At Eureka O'Hara. To be honest, your actions trigger me and remind me of the addiction that runs in my family, so I do my very best to avoid any interaction with you. I guess I'll be the bad guy for that. P.S. These messages are from after we filmed the 29th of December 2024, and I already paid her for the gig and extra for the video shoot." Mistress also posted several screenshots of text messages between her and Eureka. The first message was dated the 2nd of January, where Eureka sent lots of text messages to Mistress asking her for $200, which she said was to help her sister with something, and she also said, quote, "and the drugs, lol," but it's not clear if that last part was a joke or not. But it looks like Mistress did not reply to any of those messages. Then, in the other screenshot dated the 17th of January, Eureka texted Mistress asking if she could send her $50 because she was stranded and couldn't get home. She also said, quote, "I'm stuck where the trade left me," and included a photo of what looks like a restaurant/bar that she was sitting in. Then, in the other screenshot, which was dated the 27th of January, Eureka said she was doing better and Mistress still owed her a wig. There was also a highlighted section where Eureka had thanked Mistress for all of her help with money and she really appreciated it. So it seemed that Mistress was calling Eureka out and denying what Eureka had said about Mistress not helping her, and had posted screenshots to prove it. The screenshots Mistress posted then got a huge reaction on social media, with a lot of people criticising Eureka and questioning why she got involved, because the screenshots did not paint her in the best light. People also started quoting one of the things Eureka said in her messages, which was, quote, "I'm stuck where the trade left me." People then started turning this into a joke, and several Drag Race queens even posted about it. For example, season 14 contestant Jasmine Kennedy posted a photo of her lying in bed with someone with the caption, "I'm stuck where the trade left me." Lana Duray also jokingly asked Drag Race for money because she was stuck where the trade left her. But anyway, going back to the drama, after Mistress posted these screenshots of Eureka's messages, Eureka got a lot of backlash. Eureka clapped back at Mistress sometime later and said, "Your selective screenshots just prove I thought you were my sister. I would go through and pull screenshots and do this fight thing with you, but you're blocked. I really hope you grow up and use your platform for more than you're using it for now. At Big Fat Rat." This big fat rat comment was also seemingly a reference to what Eureka had said in the original comment she left on Willam's Instagram post, where she called Mistress a, quote, "big fat rat." This also became a bit of a meme later on as well. For example, the account on Twitter whose username is @BigFatRat commented on Eureka's post saying, "The big one begs." Hormona Lisa posted saying, "My name is Hormona Lisa, but my friends call me Fat Rat." I also saw a screenshot of a tweet on the RPDR drama subreddit, which showed a post that Eureka apparently deleted. It looks like an AI-generated picture of a large rat in the same style as Mistress's season 15 promo photo. And the caption said, "It's so muggy in here at Big Fat Rat." Anyway, going back to Eureka's clapback, after Eureka posted this clapback to Mistress, she got even more backlash. For example, someone commented on her Twitter post and said, "Oh my god, I can totally understand why nobody likes you." To which Eureka replied saying, "You should talk to the voices in my head, they would love you." However, a few queens also defended Eureka in this situation. For example, Meatball, who competed on Dragula and is also the co-host of the podcast Sloppy Seconds, commented on Mistress's post where she posted the screenshots of Eureka's messages. Meatball said, "This is gross. As a person who's had addiction issues and has dealt with it in my family, posting publicly someone's low point, no matter what they've said to or about you, is gross. Be the bigger person." Mistress then reposted Meatball's comment and said, "Babying a grown person does not allow them to learn the lessons needed and face the reality of their actions. I appreciate your sentiments, but I have no desire to allow someone to talk recklessly about me and spew blatant lies to spread their false narrative about me. Why are we babying grown adults? If you truly care about someone and their growth, you hold them accountable and treat them as you would anyone." Interestingly, some people in the comments to this then started calling out Meatball, and someone said, for example, "Pay her no mind, she's the bouncer at Precinct Bar." But Mistress seemingly defended Meatball and said, "Hey, although I don't agree, we're grown and we're allowed to express our differing opinions. No love lost, I still really enjoy at Fat Drag Meatball." One of the other queens who also commented on the Mistress vs Eureka situation was Kiara from Canada's Drag Race Season 1. During the time that Eureka was getting backlash after Mistress clapped back at her, Kiara posted saying, "Mistress Isabelle Brooks has the biggest amount of fans to defend her when she's the one throwing rocks at everybody. Fans, let the queens throw rocks back. Your fave is able to defend herself clearly. Also, why is she bringing up a trans woman's addiction in any other way other than celebratory towards her sobriety? Mistress, you have issues." People criticised Kiara for getting involved and said things like, "Once again, obsessing over Mistress all these years later, hang it up, mama, you're only relevant when you mention her on Twitter." To which Kiara responded saying, asterisk, April 2024 is last year. Also, Mistress fans, she's getting a reaction which is good for her business, so why y'all mad at me? Just to quickly explain this in case you don't know, back in April 2024, Mistress did a YouTube video where she was ordering Cameo videos from other Drag Race queens. She mentioned that Kiara was on Cameo and she was charging the lowest price, and Mistress said she had no idea who Kiara was. Kiara then responded to this on Twitter and said, "Oh my god, not someone sending me a video of Mistress reviewing my Cameo because I'm one of the cheapest queens on there. Thanks for the ad, but B-word F off." Kiara also posted a few other tweets where she clapped back at Mistress. So this previous beef between Mistress and Kiara is why people were criticising Kiara for getting involved this time in the drama between Mistress and Eureka, and people were saying Kiara was just still being bitter. Mistress even commented on the situation recently and posted a screenshot from her Patreon group chat where people mentioned that Kiara was coming for her again, and Mistress said she didn't know who Kiara was. She also posted a throwback voice tweet that she had posted last year where she sang a song telling Kiara to go to sleep. Anyway, going back to the Eureka and Mistress drama, once the dust had sort of settled on all of this online drama, Eureka posted saying, "Sending you all love tonight. Thank you to the kind words from some of you. I can't do the fighting things and I don't want to add fuel to any fire because this type of behaviour is pre-lapse behaviour. I've been loving on myself today and attending meetings 100 sober days today." She also referenced the joke that people had been making and said, "Also, I'm no longer where the trade left me. God decided to help." It also looks like Eureka has recently released merch, like t-shirts, which say, "Stuck where the trade left me." Since then, Mistress hasn't really talked more about Eureka. I did see this morning though, as I was preparing this video, Mistress posted an Instagram story, which was a screenshot of the AI generated image of her as a rat that Eureka had apparently posted but then deleted. And the caption said, "Today's Mistress Monday is coming ASAP, YouTube keeps playing in our mother effing face, stay tuned." Mistress then later released a video on her YouTube called "My Fans Called In for My Most Toxic Advice." In the video, Mistress made a few vague jokey references to what Eureka had said, such as quote, big fat rat and stuck where the trade left me. But it doesn't look like Mistress actually addressed the situation with Eureka any further. After Mistress's video came out though, Eureka did post on Twitter seemingly in reference to this and said, "She's so obsessed with me." But as of right now, it looks like this is the end of the drama between Mistress and Eureka, and neither side has said any more about it that I can see, so we'll have to wait and see if there are any further developments about this situation. Acid Betty demands apology from Willam and Alaska. So now we're going to move on to another bit of recent drama to do with Acid Betty calling out Willam and Alaska and demanding an apology from them. I have done a few videos where I explained the original drama between Acid Betty, Willam and Alaska, and I'll link to those videos in the description. However, just to briefly recap, a while ago, Willam and Alaska had a guest on their podcast called Chokra, who is a designer. Chokra claimed that he made Acid Betty's paper doll dress from All Stars 10, but he said that Acid apparently did not pay the full amount for the outfit, and then burned the outfit and blocked Chokra and never paid the rest of the money. However, after Willam and Alaska's podcast came out, Acid responded in her own podcast with Betty, where Acid said Chokra was lying, and she showed receipts saying that Chokra changed the price of the outfit without Acid agreeing to it, and that the outfit was not made very well, so Acid had to make a lot of changes herself. After all of that happened, many people called out Willam and Alaska, saying that they should not have got involved and they should not have told only one side of the story. In the days that followed, Acid posted multiple times on social media demanding an apology from Willam and Alaska. For example, Acid posted an Instagram story with a photo of Willam, which was a screenshot from a movie where Willam had once done blackface. And the caption said, "At Mistress Isabelle Brooks told the tea on at Willam, everything she said about that clout chaser was so true, so good, and at the only Alaska 5000 staying silent is liberal gold." Acid posted another Instagram story, this time with a photo of Alaska with dark makeup on, and said, "What I imagine at the only Alaska 5000 looks like while reading my messages, ignoring them and then going on her podcast saying she reached out to me." Betty also posted an Instagram story tagging Willam and Alaska, asking why they hadn't apologised to Acid after having Chokra on the podcast telling a one-sided story, which sent a lot of hate towards Acid. Acid posted several other Instagram stories where she put up a poll asking if people think that she'll ever get a public apology from Willam and Alaska. Acid also posted an Instagram story that said, "Public shame plus private apologies equals abuse." In the caption, Acid said Willam had replied back to the Mistress drama within 24 hours, so where is Acid's apology? Because by that point it had been several weeks. During this time, Willam and Alaska had posted a video on their YouTube called Goss So Good We Had to Make a Video, where they did vaguely mention the drama with Acid Betty. They mentioned that they had invited Acid on the podcast, but she had blocked them, and Willam said the reason they had Chokra on the podcast was because Chokra is a friend of theirs, so they wanted to, quote, get clarity on the situation, and they wanted Acid to come on the podcast so they could sort it out. In the comments to this video though, a lot of people criticised Willam and Alaska and said that they were doubling down on what they said and they weren't apologising for only sharing one side of the story. Willam replied to quite a few of the comments, saying that she also saw the receipts and she sort of defended Chokra, but Willam also admitted that she shouldn't have got involved in the first place and she did DM both Acid and Daya to apologise. I also saw that separately, Deja Sky had posted on Instagram saying that she had recently painted Willam. In the comments, Acid posted saying, "What's your advice on her publicly apologising to me? I have to know." Deja replied saying, "I truly like to stay out of everything and be neutral. That's my stance since I adore you both." And Acid said, "Whoops, so DM me what you told her. I know she is desperate to save her face." Then, several days later, Willam and Alaska posted a video on their YouTube called Season 10 Episode 1 Runway Rundown. There was a timestamp posted near the end of the video called Apology to Acid Betty, where Willam and Alaska said they should never have got involved and they officially apologised to Acid Betty.
I want to officially take a moment to apologize to Acid Betty. Things have gotten out of hand. Untruths were told. We never should have had one person's side of the story on without having the other person's story. I apologize.
It wasn't like I was relishing the chance to take somebody down, but I was trying to bring clarity to a situation which was none of my business.
That seems to be the end of that drama as far as I can see, and I don't believe that Acid or Willam and Alaska have posted anything further since then about this situation. Shea Couleé retracts allegations. And finally, we're going to talk about a bit of recent tea involving Shea Couleé officially retracting some previous allegations that she had made against an events and management company. First, I'm going to go over the background of the original situation and explain what the allegations were about, because that is relevant to the response that Shea recently posted. So, back in 2019, Shea posted an Instagram story where she called out someone called Anthony Di Fiore, which is the owner and director of Neverland Parties, which is an events company that specialises in LGBT-focused events and parties, and it also looks like they have another part of their business, which is a talent agency that signs queens and represents them. In the Instagram post, Shea said that Anthony/the company owed her $12,000 in back payments and that he had ignored all of her emails, calls and texts. Shea also said that she has evidence that payments were sent and deposited, but then Anthony claimed he didn't know where the payments were. There were then lots of other posts about the situation, but I'd first like to credit the Reddit user Miss Danielle Loves, who posted a very comprehensive timeline in the RPDR drama subreddit of all of the events that happened with links to all of the screenshots, and I found this while I was researching for this video, so thank you for that because it was actually really useful, and I'll link to the Reddit post in the description if you want to check it out in full. So, Shea had posted many Instagram stories calling Anthony and Neverland Parties out. I won't go through all of them because there are so many, but I'll just summarise the most important points. So, Shea said that she had been, quote, bamboozled into hiring Neverland Party DragCon booth services for DragCon one year, but when they showed up to DragCon, they didn't have a carpet, a backdrop, lighting, or merch. Shea also said a few other queens had also had the same issue, such as Kim Chi, The Vixen, Monet Exchange, Mo Hart, and Ms. Cracker. Shea then told the backstory of what happened across a series of many Instagram stories. It's a bit complicated, so this is just a simplification. But it seems what happened was a former employee of Neverland contacted Shea to say the company had posted about an event with Shea, but Shea was already booked that day for something else. Shea posted screenshots of texts that she had sent to Anthony, who is the owner of the company, where she asked him to reschedule this event. But later, Shea found out that Anthony had allegedly signed contracts for Shea and 4 other girls without their approval, and also received the deposits, and the queens never received these deposits. Anthony then apparently lied multiple times in messages to the event promoter to, quote, cover up his misdealings. One of the other queens who also was involved was Pearl from season 7, who was also on Neverland's roster. And Shea made Pearl aware of what was going on in this situation. Anthony also allegedly lied multiple other times about what was happening, and Shea said she was now missing over $10,000. Several other queens also corroborated Shea's story, such as Kim Chi, who said she had stayed silent so far despite the quote lack of professionalism and just plain bull bleep. Kim Chi also said that she and Naomi Smalls were supposed to have their own websites, presumably this was part of Neverland's services, but apparently those URLs now just led to fan pages. Kim then said that she and Naomi had left the agency, but the agency was holding these URLs, quote, hostage for $20,000. And Kim Chi also said never purchase anything from Neverland. The vixen also posted an Instagram story saying that she had been represented by Neverland management, but she had not been paid by Anthony because he was dealing with a lawsuit and he was apparently using the vixen's money to pay his debts. Apparently, the company also deducted money from the vixen's earnings to pay for health insurance, but the health insurance had been cancelled later on without the vixen's knowledge. Multiple other queens, such as Sasha Velour, Pheromone, and Blair St. Clair, also spoke out against Neverland, and as I said, bear in mind this all happened in around 2019. And I'm not sure what happened in the meantime after all of these queens called out Neverland. However, during my research for this video, I found an article by Queerty.com from November 2019, which said that Shea, Pearl, the vixen, Kim Chi, as well as a few other people, had been slapped with a $5 million slander lawsuit regarding this situation. In the article, it said, quote, "The suit, filed by a Chicago court, alleges that the defendants made false claims about the plaintiff, a management company called Neverland Events and Artist Management, a company that specializes in repping LGBTQ entertainers, which is queer-owned. The group of queens claim they were never paid for their performance gigs with Neverland and took their anger to social media to vent." I tried to see if I could find any updates regarding this lawsuit, but I couldn't really find anything. However, in a post on the RPDR drama subreddit from June 2023, someone posted asking whatever happened to this lawsuit. In the comments, someone posted the case number of this lawsuit and said that you can look up the public filings. I did try and use the link, but it didn't seem to work for me. Someone else in the comments said that the vixen allegedly was ordered to complete a deposition but failed to do so, and counterclaims had been filed, which means that at least one defendant, which may be Shea, was suing Neverland in return. A few other people posted things in the comments, saying things like a jury had been requested, but as I said, these are just comments on Reddit, and I'm no legal expert in any way, so I can't verify if any of this is true or not, but I just thought this was potentially interesting, which is why I'm mentioning it, but please keep in mind that this may or may not be accurate. It looks like that was all I could find about the legal case, so I'm not sure what happened about it since then. However, recently, Shea posted about the situation on social media, which led to a lot of speculation from people who wondered if Shea's recent post may have been as a result of the lawsuit. So, on the 1st of August 2025, Shea posted a grid post on Instagram with several text posts, and I'll read the statement out in full. The statement said, "In May 2019, I got into a business dispute with my then manager, Anthony Di Fiore, and his business, Neverland Events and Artist Management Corp. At that time, I made a number of serious allegations of misconduct, theft, mismanagement, and dishonesty against both Anthony and Neverland. I further asserted that Anthony and Neverland had engaged in similar misconduct with other queer artists. I also encouraged my many followers to boycott Neverland events and merchandise and to ostracize Anthony from the gay community. The allegations I made at that time were exaggerated to place both Anthony and Neverland in the worst possible light and were, in most cases, simply untrue. Anthony and Neverland acted honestly and with integrity during the many years I worked with them between 2013 and May 2019 when my statements were posted. I deeply regret my actions. I am also aware that my actions cause Anthony much pain and embarrassment, including threats of violence against him and Neverland and loss of friends and his business. For this, I am deeply sorry. Anthony and I have now resolved our differences, and I hope all of you will accept him back into the LGBTQ community going forward. He deserves it. I saw Shea's post very soon after she posted it on Instagram, and I noticed that lots of people were commenting, saying things like this statement felt like it was court-ordered and that Shea was being forced to say this. However, I forgot to take screenshots of this, and shortly after Shea had posted on Instagram, she then disabled the comments on the post. Later on, I noticed that on Reddit, people had posted screenshots of some subsequent posts that Shea had made, which had since been deleted, although I didn't see these at the time, so I can't verify this. In one of the posts, Shea posted the famous photo of actress Nicole Kidman, which was apparently taken after she divorced Tom Cruise. However, on a side note, Nicole has since said that this was not true and this was actually a photo from a movie. Shea also posted the famous meme with Nina Bonina Brown, which said, "Well, it's over." And these posts by Shea further fueled rumours that Shea had been ordered by the court to post the retraction statement. I also saw a screenshot of a comment that someone had posted on Shea's comment before she disabled comments, and it said, "If this is all BS, in your next post, wear something yellow." Shea apparently later posted this selfie where she was wearing yellow, which again sparked even more chatter that Shea was being forced to say these things. Candy Muse even apparently tweeted at the time saying, "Shea is sending me on Instagram," but it looks like Candy later deleted this tweet. Shea later responded to these rumours in an Instagram story, and she said, "Earlier today, someone commented on Instagram that I should wear yellow if the statements I posted and pinned to my Instagram account in the early morning hours today about Anthony Di Fiore and Neverland were, quote, all BS. Later, I posted myself wearing multiple colours, including the colour yellow. Please do not speculate further. My statements in my pinned Instagram post about Anthony Di Fiore and Neverland are 100% accurate. No one forced me to make them. I will not be commenting about my post today going forward. Please believe me, I meant what I said in my pinned Instagram post this morning about Anthony and Neverland." As of right now, I don't believe Shea has talked about this any further, so that seems to be the end of the situation, so we'll have to wait and see if any further information comes out about this in the future. However, as I always say in my videos, in general, please make sure you do not send hate to any of the queens involved in any of these situations. This type of content is just for entertainment and informative purposes, so please make sure you act responsibly in the comments and think about how you interact with the queens and other people online. So there you go, there was a video detailing several of the recent Drag Race dramas that some people have dubbed the quote Drag Race Civil War. Let me know in the comments what you think about all of this, and did you know about any of this drama before? If you'd like to get exclusive content, personalised videos, early access, as well as many other amazing benefits, please consider joining my Patreon. It's a cheap and easy way to support my channel, and it does make a huge difference, and if you're interested, I'll leave a link to my Patreon in the description. I'd also like to take an opportunity to say thank you so much to all of my incredible Patreon members. I love this community so much and I'm beyond grateful for all of your support. You really do make a massive difference to my channel, so thank you all so much. Please make sure you give this video a like and a comment because it really does make a huge difference to increase the engagement and promote this video in the algorithm. And please make sure you hit that subscribe button. It's a free way to support the channel and it does make a big difference. So please help me get to my goal of 150k subscribers by the end of the year. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you'll join me again in the future for some more Drag Race gossip, secrets, and drama. Thank you so much. Bye.